Hello, good morning. It's another great day here on 32 FM 94.9. And of course, it's a Break It Down Papers Review. And today is the 2nd of June, 2023. My name is Bolabo Fimosko.
Thank God it's Friday. My name is Denike&GBOLABO. Welcome to the show this morning. As always, we have the front page for you. Good morning, Mrs. Bolabo Fimosko.
Oh my God, with the misses this morning, I'm suspecting you, Denike. Good morning, Nike.
I'm just giving you
All the accolades,
serious
right?
accolades, right?
Really? All right, I'll take that as a Friday gift. Quickly, we'll move through the cable NG and, of course, there are quite a number of top stories here. And here we have Abbas. Independence of legislature won't be compromised under my leadership. NLC, we have no plan to begin strike on Friday over subsidy removal. Peter Mba asks Tinubu to release Nnamdi Kanu, says no more seat at home in Enugu. And here we also have let's allow the system to work, but speaks on speculation on his appointment as COS. Tinubu, I won't allow insecurity bring Nigeria to its knees while other countries are advancing. And this is an exclusive. EFCC grills fire me over alleged misappropriation of 4 billion naira. Peter Obi, Labour Party to challenge election result in only 18 states. Kyari petrol subsidies of 2022-2023 not yet funded. And of course, here we also have group threatens protesters petrol subsidy crisis causing suffering. And group to Tinubu, Yoruba have been deprived, confirm Adekpoju as immigration CJ. We'll take 2 more. It will be a tool for social justice. SDP backs petrol subsidy remover. Tinubu to governors, you are critical to the success of Nigeria. Start your work diligently.
All right, the Punch newspaper. First story, Mexico police find 45 bags containing human body parts. Police promotes 31,465 officers. Fed Cup insurance overcomes stubborn woes in semis. Operators kick as maritime workers short port Monday. Freight forwarders engage regulators on operational challenges. Praise of corruption, police rewards cops battling robbers with dismissal. Policeman in court for defrauding businessman for of 128 million naira. 15-year-old scores 99% in UTME maths. Supervisors aiding exam malpractice, says WAEC. 1,872 killed, 714 abducted in 4 months, reports. And some more stories from the Punch. Abuja policemen question me for driving expensive car, says engineer. Rivers police kill suspected cultists in gun duel. How Tinubu can solve Nigeria's problems. YPP chieftain. And some more stories. 241 billion debt left over by Ganduje administration disheartening Kano government. Court remands 3 suspected cultists for murder.
All right, quickly to the Vanguard newspaper this morning, and right on the front page of the Vanguard, this says subsidy new players will make petrol price come down. Kyari is saying that Presidential Tribunal Peter Obi tenders result of 6 states, 115 LGAs in evidence, crush oil thieves, order felons, Tinubu orders security agencies. And all the latest news here on the front page of the Vanguard this morning, President Biden falls on Air Force stage. Wow. Presidential Tribunal, all right, we have that already. Crush oil thieves. And Naira exchanges are 464.67 Naira to dollar. PPP Snake Island port set to attract $1 billion investment. Inflation, household consumption expenditure falls 4.07%. Subsidy, new players will make petrol price come down. Gary is actually telling us that. All right, we take 2 more from the Vanguard this morning. Digital supply chain solution unveiled to tackle MSMEs financing gap. And of course, the last one here, still talking about finance. Nigeria and Indonesia trade balance up 81% to $4.7 billion.
All right, some stories from the Daily Post newspaper. Subsidy removal. Reps give Tinubu new conditions. No fuel subsidy in 2023 budget, NNPC clarifies. Disregard stories on strike action, NLC tells Nigerians. Some more stories here. This one says EFCC quizzes fire me over alleged 4 billion naira fraud, money laundering. We were forced to sign presidential election result sheets, articles witness tells court. Drop fresh blueprint for security architecture, Tinubu directs intelligence chiefs. Obi, LP, to challenge presidential election results in 18 states only. Tinubu holds first meeting with security intelligence chiefs. Again, tribunal steps down Obi's petition over poor schedule of document. And this one says fuel subsidy federal government NLC meeting ends in deadlock.
Very quickly now we'll move to The Guardian, and of course there are also a host of headlines here on the front page of The Guardian newspaper, and this says NLC debunks strike action, unveils position today after consultations. And more on The Guardian front page, CBN denies devaluing Naira, commits to gradual rate convergence. 11 years after occupying Nigeria, Tinubu toes painful path to economic rebirth. Tinubu meets intelligence security chiefs, gives mandate to tackle insecurity. Messy future decision drawing near with Basa. Baka returning, hopes fading. And of course, all the stories there says PEPC admits INEX form EC8A for OB in 6 states as 3 testify for Atiku. Nigeria orders urge to leverage 5G for growth as 6G gets 2030 date. And more stories here on The Guardian. EFCC withdraws charges against Zaura. IYC urges Tinubu Fubara to develop Niger Delta riverine areas. All right, we'll take some couple more. Nigerian Zimbabwe move to strengthen military ties. Fire me in EFCC net over alleged 4 billion naira fraud. Tinubu meets Lawan Bajabiamila over National Assembly leadership. And of course, this is saying Lagos tax workers resident on dangers of plastic waste orders. And the last one here says EU earmarks 32 million euros to boost energy in West Africa.
From the Premium Times, House Speakership, Tinubu meets Abbas Kalu. And some more stories says Enugu governor asks Tinubu to release Nnamdi Kanu. M-Sport Football Challenge, Road to Final 2023. What Tinubu told us in his first Security Council meeting as president, CDS NSA. Fuel subsidy after meeting Tinubu's delegation, NLC insists on price reversal. The real owners of Nigeria's... Okay, I'm just going to skip that. It's some sort of investigation from that end. Away from that, 10th NAS, why I will not run for Senate President, Lawan. Fuel subsidy not budgeted for in 2023, Kyari tells APC. House Speakership, Tinubu meets Abbas Kalu. Taking that before fuel subsidy, reps ask federal government to mitigate effects of subsidy removal. Foundations in $45 million partnership to expand vaccine manufacturing in Africa. Why subsidy removal must not deepen poverty, Amnesty International. Governors Forum leadership, Tinubu congratulates Abdulrazak Uzodimma. Others. We move to another paper now.
All right, quickly now to the This Day newspaper. And of course, on this day, there are also a couple of headlines this morning. EFCC accuses ex-governor Fayemi over alleged 4 billion naira fraud. LP tender document from 6 states to prove petition against Tinubu. House asks Tinubu to declare state of emergency on drug abuse. Tinubu has directed palliatives to be put in place to cushion effects of fuel subsidy removal, says Kyari. Tinubu meets with National Assembly leadership. Tinubu has directed palliatives, all right, we've taken that. And of course, more on Tinubu here. Tinubu to rejig Nigeria's security architecture. All right, Tinubu meets with CDS service chiefs, IG. And of course, CBN reports on Naira devaluation false. And of course, let's look at more stories there right on the front page of the This Day newspaper. Ado-Ekiti Trustee Committee's Mons Oluwajayi. Stakeholders brainstorm on climate change rescue mission. And of course, we'll take one more before leaving the paper this morning. And I think this is talking about tech, and this is saying NCS decries low adoption of information technology in Nigeria, calls for reform. All right, we'll have to take that moment right about now. And once we go on this commercial, we'll be right back.
32 FM 94.9.
Guy, if I tell you see all this plenty airtime and data, where they take flex? Now dash glow dash me, you go believe.
Dash get for this kind of economy. I beg you.
Dey there now, as I buy my glow sim like this, spirit, I first collect 1,000 naira welcome bonus, Sarah. As I come recharge, bam, glow knock me 10 times airtime bonus. I also enjoy double data. Join.
Wait, oh, you mean 1,000 naira welcome bonus.
Yes.
Plus 10 times airtime bonus.
Yes.
Plus double data again.
Yes,
Papa,
now.
for which universe now?
The Globe Rekete universe now. You want try?
Oh, mo. No wonder boys they flex anyhow on top phone 247 non-stop. I talk am.
My people, not let grass grow under your Lego. Go get your Glow SIM today. Dial *777# to buy and enjoy 10 times airtime bonus plus up to double data. Offer day for both new and existing subscribers them.
Glow Unlimited.
I will lift up mine eyes to the hills. My help comes from the Lord. Experience God's mighty power, working miracles, transforming lives and destinies through His anointed servant, Prophet Taiwojo, at 72 Hours with God from Friday 9th to Sunday 11th of June. Theme, Help from Above. Join us with your loved ones to receive the help you need from God. Every struggle and sorrow shall be terminated by God's supernatural presence and power at Mercy Camp Osengiri Ibadan from Friday 9th to Sunday 11th of June. Ministering Prophet Taiwojo and other anointed ministers of God. Music ministrations by Bukola Akinade Shawele Jesu, Bisi Alawiye Aluko, Elijah Akintude Olorun Sobe, Benga Adenuga, Bridget Adenubi, Atinuke Eri Majemo, and many others. Please note, we shall be rounding off early Monday morning. For more information, please call 0902 011 3558. 72 Hours with God. Come, don't miss it.
There you are, riding in silence, both deep in thought. I bet you the driver think this ride shouldn't cost more, and you the passenger are sure you're overpaying. Never mind, let's just stay quiet. Or you can both download InDrive and agree on a fair price beforehand. InDrive, people driven. The InDrive online passenger transportation aggregator is not a taxi service. For more information, visit indrive.com.
Ìfẹ́ tí kò lábàwọ́n ni ìfẹ́ ìyá jẹ́. Bẹ́ẹ̀ kò sí ohun tó dùn tó bíi Indomie alájẹpọnu lákànlọ́. Nítorí náà, fi ìfẹ́ hàn pẹ̀lú Indomie.
àwọn akọni méjìlélọ́gbọ̀n ló bẹ̀rẹ̀ ìjàgùdù láti dẹ́dẹ́ tó jùlọ nílẹ̀ Europe. Àwọn kan ṣubú lójú ìjà bẹ́ẹ̀ làwọn kan ṣubú lùdà. Ikọ̀ méjì péré ni yóò sì kọjá ìloro lọ síbi adéwà ní Istanbul lórílẹ̀‐èdè Turkey. Ẹnìkan ṣoṣo ni ó sì dádì ọ̀hún. Ṣẹ́gun ó parẹ́ lórí Pep Guardiola lẹ́yìn èpè yapiyapo àbí ikọ̀ Inter Milan yóò tún ìtàn kan bí ìtọ́dún 2010. Àṣekágbá ìdíje UEFA Champions League tọdún ní pẹ̀lú 32 FM 94.9 yóò bí àwòrán kọ́mẹ́ntì Yorùbá ṣẹ́pọ́ná àti àwọn àtúpalẹ̀ tí yóò ti ìlú Istanbul balẹ̀ nílùú Ìbàdàn. Gbàgede Race Course Amphitheatre yóò gbàlejò lọ́jọ́ kẹwàá oṣù karùn-ún ọdún tí a wà yìí. Aago 12 ọ̀sán ni gbàgbàdúró ti bẹ̀rẹ̀. Jẹ́ òfin bí àṣàlẹ̀ ó ṣe rí láàrin Inter Milan àti Manchester City. Àkàmọ́yé ayò ni ó wà níkàlẹ̀ lọ́jọ́ náà. Àwọn bíi snooker, table tennis, ludo, ayò ọlọ́pọ́n, chess, scrabble àti bẹ́ẹ̀ bẹ́ẹ̀ lọ. Àyè ọlọ́lá tún wà nílẹ̀ ní sẹpẹ́ lọ́jọ́ náà. Fún ẹ̀kúnrẹ́rẹ́ àlàyé ẹ pè sórí 07034767684 tàbí 07036021608. Àwọn alátìlẹyìn nílé iṣẹ́ Imperial Blue àti ilé iṣẹ́ rédíò 32 FM 94.9. Àṣekágbá ìdíje UEFA Champions League nìbàdàn ọ̀fẹ́ ló bá dé ẹ má gbẹ̀yìn níbẹ̀.
32 FM 94.9.
All right, and we're back with you on the show. Good morning, and if you're just joining us, this is the Break of Dawn Papers Review on 32 FM 94.9. I am DENIKE&GBOLABO.
And I'm Gbolabo Famous School. We have Professor Olu Ojedokun joining us virtually this morning. Good morning, Prof.
Yeah, talk of the day to you.
Good morning, Prof. Once again, we're just going to dive right into the issue. I think that this is the prevalent issue that we've had constantly in the last couple of days. The fuel subsidy issue. There was a headline here, or there's a headline here. Petrol price will come down naturally. NNPC Group Chief Executive Officer Mele Kyari has insisted that when competition among major players in the oil sector abounds, it will definitely force down the current price. I mean, we're currently shooting at 500, 550 and all of that. And what has ever gone up in this country that actually comes down in terms of PMS and all of that?
Well, to be quite honest, honest, I passed some petrol stations yesterday and I saw 495. I'm not going to mention them, but there were about 2 or 3 that were doing 495. But it's quite obvious that with competition, that the prices will be forced down. But also, the prices could also go up, depending on the circumstances, the world prices. One advantage also is that if petroleum prices, crude oil comes down, then we would benefit. It will also come down for us. So it's not a lose-lose situation all the time. There might be a win somewhere there. But whether it comes down or not, the reality of the situation is we are paying much more, 170% more than we were paying before. And that has adverse effect on the economy. What happens in the long term on all sectors of the economy is yet to be exposed and yet to be revealed. But I think one immediate factor, of course, is that the roads are lighter, the traffic rather is lighter. People are cutting non-essential journeys. People are reevaluating what they do. But that's a plus. But a minus to that is a minus for economic activity. And once there's reduced economic activity, you know what it also means. It could mean reduced employment, people being laid off. So the consequences are still yet to be revealed.
All right, Prof. How do we get to a level of equilibrium here? Because do we have supply equaling what appears to be demand here? Because obviously, like you said, the market becomes highly competitive. And you have instances of wanting to have, like you said, I also saw some filling stations selling at the rate of 480 naira per litre, meaning that at the long run, there will be this heightened competitiveness. But really, how do we get to an equilibrium here where supply will equal demand?
Yes. Okay, I lost part of it, but what I would say is that there's oversupply at the moment. And also the suppliers are making silly money, tremendous amount of money. Why? Because remember that some of this has already been covered by subsidy. And yet, immediately, subsidy has been removed for the consumer. So how do we get to the equilibrium? It's a very good question, because I think eventually some of them will have to discount some of their supplies, because when people are not buying the fuel and people are turning away, they have to do something with the fuel. If people are not buying it, you don't get new supplies. And if you don't get new supplies, you don't make money. So I think eventually markets, and that is people, would maybe address the fact that you cannot have excess of fuel and less demand and the prices to remain the same. Another equilibrium is that the government has to step in. Not step in terms of the prices, but step in terms of ameliorating some of the suffering of people. It's not enough for the government just to remove the subsidy. They must put in place some social infrastructure which enables people, the most of the poorest of the poor, or those that benefit, that would suffer more, you understand, which in my view is the masses, you understand, they are catered for because the consequences are still coming. I keep on saying that the consequences are yet unraveled.
All right, Melekiari still made another statement yesterday where he revealed that the current administration or the new administration has concluded arrangements to have one of the 4 refineries repaired and operating at an optimal level before the end of the year. Now, he's saying that there's an ongoing process of rehabilitation to ensure that one of the refineries is ready this year. It's definitely a right step in the right direction, but we've been down this road before. The only difference is it's a different administration. So, Prof, what about the money spent prior to this, and we still don't have it running? And if it was this easy to fix one within 6 months, how come in 8 years we didn't get one functioning refinery?
I think he would have done us a great service if he had told us why the last deadline for this Port Harcourt refinery was missed. Because otherwise it seems as if what is just regaling to us is tales by the moonlight. And we've heard a lot of tales as Nigerians, and we're tired of tales. So give us an account of why, in the first place, the amount of money which we borrowed, through, and it was supposed to be Ajib, one of those companies that was supposed to rehabilitate the Port Harcourt, hasn't happened. That is it. The second thing also is that the Dangote that was opened in Funfair is still not ready for production. That's quite obvious, you understand. So we don't even know when that's going to come on board. The other thing also is that there's a private refinery that's been built somewhere near Cross River in Akwa Ibom, you understand. So we don't even know when that will be ready. So if it is true what the managing director is saying, or the chief executive rather of NNPCL, as it's now called, then maybe, you understand, the prospects of the prices being affected downwards it will be in view. But we've had these promises so many times before, and that's why many Nigerians will shrug off their shoulders. But we have a new administration, as you pointed out, and it may well be that this administration of Bola Ahmed Tinubu is able to get more results than the other former lethargic administration was able to get.
With the issue on ground and the inability to get the old refineries working, what should we be talking about here? Should we be talking about building new ones? Like you said, there is a new refinery coming up. There's the Dangote refinery. What is the way forward here? Should we abandon the old projects? Should we outsource? What is our way here?
I don't think it makes sense for us to borrow more money or to spend more money on other than the money we have already expended. Because if you have spent so much in billions to get it ready and it's still not ready, then you understand we should just continue with the money we spend. We shouldn't put more expenditure into it. We should leave the private sector. I think the private sector is the way forward. The Dangotes and the private sector is the way forward to deal with what we have on the ground, from that point of view. Because government has spent too much money. Was it 11 trillion, 12 trillion? Do you remember that the government has spent and no discernible results? And remember that these refineries are workers. In other words, government was to do us a disservice if they disband. I'm sorry, scrap these refineries, stop paying salaries. They may pay pensions. I don't have a problem with that. But why are you paying salaries for refineries that have produced nothing and from what we benefit nothing? It sounds harsh, but that's the economic reality that we must address.
Now, Prof, let's also look at the Nigeria Labour Congress. Do they have any business going on strike as a result of the subsidy removal? Although they've actually denying that Friday, like it was being projected, that they are planning a strike action, but they've also come out to say that's not true. But do they have any business to say they are going on strike with all of this?
I think they have every business. It's their right to go on strike if they want to go on strike. Whether it's going to get any results is another matter entirely. And remember, that the National Industrial Court has held up the part of the law, the Labour Act, which says no work, no pay. So, of course, if they're going on strike, they should remember that it is no work, no pay. And that's a risky prospect or proposition for them. But I think they should put every pressure on the government to come up with a sustainable palliative system, sustainable relief system, even if it means releasing grains from the strategic reserve, crashing prices, some kind of subsidy, some kind of voucher, fuel voucher, or meal ticket voucher. They need to come up with plans. It's not enough to say we want to go on strike. What is the alternative that the labor union has for the government? Let them come with constructive plans, present it to the government, and let's see whether they're workable. It's not enough to say, we go at Luton and continue at Victoria, etc. You understand? That will just bring a lot of noise, a lot of discomfort to the people, and yet no results at the end of the day.
All right,
Prof. I also wanted to touch quickly on primordial sentiment because we know that Tinubu is an extraction from the southwest, and obviously many are already saying that you're a Yoruba man, like what we're seeing here, group to Tinubu. Yoruba have been deprived, confirm Adepoju as immigration CJ. Now, when we talk about primordial sentiment, that has been a major issue during the Buhari administration, that some tribe were actually more favored than some other tribe. Now, how can a Tinubu unite Nigeria without actually looking at where you come from before determining the kind of appointment to give you?
I think competence trumps everything. If you can determine competence, a lot of time competence defies tribe or where you come from. For instance, people would not care where the president of Nigeria comes from if he's able to deliver the El Dorado. They're not going to remember that he came from this place or that place. When Green Eagles goes and wins the World Cup, as they will surely someday, nobody will say, it's led by an Igbo captain or it's led by Yoruba captain. They will just celebrate the victory of Nigeria. So I think competence has to be the fore of this government. In other words, put the most competent person. Don't maneuver. What has happened in the past is they maneuvered to put people from a particular part of the country in positions when they're not even the most qualified from that point of view. And I think another thing people are missing, and I'm sorry to veer back to petroleum issue, is that we need a substantive minister of petroleum to address it. Let that be his full-time job, not the part-time sort of thing which Tunde and Co were controlling. I'm sorry to mention names, but that's what was happening. We need a full-time minister who's competent, who has a proven record, whether it is Igbo, Northerner, Yoruba, who cares? What we care is delivery. What we care is a better life for all Nigerians.
EFCC grills Fayemi over 4 billion naira money laundering. The former governor of Ekiti State, Kayode Fayemi, is currently being interrogated at the EFCC office in Ilorin over an alleged laundering of 4 billion naira. Now, Prof, what do you think is at play here? Will anything come out of this, and will real consequences be faced, or we're just dancing around for no reason?
I hope something will come out of it. When I mean hope, which means either is cleared of the allegations or the allegations are sustained. They are still allegations, doesn't mean he's guilty. But I think EFCC needs to be able to track this, needs to be able to pursue this and come up with an explanation as to why this issue is there in the first place. I think many governors have been putting their hands in the cookie jar, dipping their hands rather. I'm not suggesting Fayemi has done that, but I think he must answer the questions and must answer them robustly. And if he fails to do that, then he must be charged to court accordingly and let the due process of the law take its course, from that point of view. But EFCC has given us so many false dawns. Very few politicians have been prosecuted. Maybe about 5 or 6 have been prosecuted in a total of how many years? That's 8 years of the Buhari administration. And I think they need to do much more. Not just bringing charges, not sensationalism, but making sure the charges are sustained.
All right, let's talk about the Senate President, Ahmad Lawan. Yesterday, there was a speculative news of some appointment of the Speaker of the House of Representatives, that's Femi Gbajabiamila, as President Bola Tinubu's Chief of Staff. And Ahmed Lawan was talking about the fact that it's still speculative, and if it's not, if at the end of the day, the government will let us know what is happening. Gbajabiamila as well talked about the fact that it's also speculative. But speaking speculatively now, there have been, of course, no official announcement, but some people believe that Gbajabiamila's appointment is, if legit, is very strategic. What are your thoughts on this?
First and foremost, I think it is not a constitutional office. It's a private, official private appointment. Why is it private appointment? Because he works with the president. He's not accountable to any other person than the president. So I don't know why there's so much as to who becomes the chief of staff. But the chief of staff is a very strategic office, even though it's not a constitutional office, because he's the one really that clears the agenda of the president, determines his agenda, ensures that decisions are made, ensures that the government's right. He's a coordinator. He's a link man. You understand? He's the go-to Friday man, the man that the president goes to when he wants anything resolved. If you look at a program called a series called West Wing, it will give you an idea of what the chief of staff does. So the chief of staff is singularly the most important, after the president, of course, person in the administration. So whoever he appoints, of course, will determine how successful this government is and whether the government is held together or not. Is it going to be Baja? All indications are suggesting it's Baja. He's attending meetings, for crying out loud. He spent most of his time there, but he remains the Speaker of the House of Representatives until later in the month. And of course, whilst he remains the Speaker of the House of Reps, I doubt if they're going to announce his appointment as the Chief of Staff, because they want things to be done in a tidy manner. But I was interviewed yesterday, and he wasn't able to deny or confirm. He just said, let the process take its course. And I think that's what will happen. But I think once Tinubu trusts him, it might be an inspired appointment.
All right, before we take that moment, Prof, Tinubu meets intelligence security chiefs, gives mandate to tackle insecurity. Do you think this is a major task that Tinubu may have headache with in terms of terrorism, banditry, and insurgency?
Well, first and foremost, I didn't hear that question well, but let me just say it, is that meetings have always been held with the commander-in-chief and the service chiefs, and that doesn't mean anything to most Nigerians. What we need is action. What we need is a change in the military-industrial complex, in the security architecture. It's only when we begin to see results that we begin to see that these meetings are yielding fruits. And usually, all these meetings need not even be publicized. What usually happens in advanced countries are these meetings hold, and people don't even know they're going on. They are supposed to be regular meetings at lower levels and at higher levels. And what we just want at the end of the day is security, peace and security. And that's the number one emphasis, number one constitutional provision for government. So it is very, very assuring.
All right, what about the service chiefs? Do they need to go at this time?
Well, I'm not sure that replacing them is the issue. I think restructuring is the issue. Looking at the old military-industrial complex, looking at the security architecture, looking to see how the police, and I'm moving now to police because they're part of the service chiefs to some extent, looking at how the policing is decentralized and ensuring that the states are policing by consent. So I think that would be more important than removal of people. We've had service chiefs removed before, and no discernible change has occurred. If they are willing to adapt to any structural changes, then why not allow them to midwife it? And if they're not allowed, if they cannot adapt or incapable of adapting, then change them and bring in new people. The problem we have in Nigeria is that each time you remove or each time you move the service chiefs, you retire a whole shebang, a whole lot of people. And that's what the problem is, So that's why a lot of people would rather that these people remain so they don't go and start retiring people who are still competent and who can still do their jobs.
All right, we have to take that break now. When we return, we will, of course, open the phone lines to take your reactions. Do stay with us.
32 FM 94.9.
Ìfẹ́ tí kò lábàwọ́n ni ìfẹ́ ìyá jẹ́. Bẹ́ẹ̀ kò sí ohun tó dùn tó bíi Indomie alájẹpọnu lákànlọ́. Nítorí náà, fi ìfẹ́ hàn pẹ̀lú Indomie.
I will lift up mine eyes to the hills. My help comes from the Lord. Experience God's mighty power, working miracles, transforming lives and destinies through His anointed servant, Prophet Taiwojo, at 72 Hours with God from Friday night to Sunday, 11th of June. Theme, Help from Above. Join us with your loved ones to receive the help you need from God. Every struggle and sorrow shall be terminated by God's supernatural presence and power at Mercy Camp, Osengiri, Ibadan from Friday night to Sunday, 11th of June. Ministering Prophet Taiwojo and other anointed ministers of God. Music ministrations by Bukola Akinade Shanwele Jesu, Bisi Alawiye Aluko, Elijah Akintude Olorun Sobe, Benga Adenuga, Bridget Adenubi, Atinuke Eri Majemo, and many others. Please note, we shall be rounding off early Monday morning. For more information, please call 0902 011 3558. 72 Hours with God. Come, don't miss it.
Capture life's moments in stunning clarity with the new Techno Camon 20 series. With sensor shift OIS technology on a 108 megapixel ultra-wide camera. Enjoy the best smartphone experience brought to life in vivid colors with its 120Hz AMOLED display. That's not all. The Camon 20 series is the perfect steady night portrait master, so you can take splendid low-light photos at night out with friends. Buy any Camon 20 series today and get free gifts plus up to 11 GB MTN data for up to 6 months. Don't miss out. T's and C's apply. Techno, stop at nothing.
This is what it sounds like when you mindlessly munch away at your snacks. Boring, dull, routine snacking. And this is what it sounds like when snacking is loud, proud, gooey, chewy, playful, joyful, and all-round fun. Because when joyless snacking attacks, we'll be there to fight back. Snack out loud with Fanta.
32 gladiators embarked on a quest to become Europe's finest. Many ran out of steam. Others fell to the sword. Only one team can cross the gates into Istanbul, where the treasure lies. And only one can be crowned champions of Europe.
And they're toying with them. Bernardo Silva again! You don't save that
Will Pep Guardiola and the citizens finally bring home the much-coveted Champions League trophy, or will the Nerazzurris repeat the heroics of 2010? It's the UEFA Champions League Final 2023, and 32 FM 94.9 will bring pictures, unbeatable commentaries, and quality analysis from Istanbul to Ibadan. Live at the Racecourse Amphitheatre at Damasinga on the 10th of June 2023. There will be side attractions starting off from 12 noon, which will set the tone for Europe's biggest club competition final between Manchester City and Inter Milan. Games like snooker, table tennis, Ludo, Ayolokmo, chess, Scrabble, and many more will be available for your pleasure. There will be VIP seats. For reservations or sponsorship inquiries, please call 0703 476 7684 or 0703 602 1608. This event is proudly sponsored by Imperial Blue and powered by a Joy Station 32 FM 949. Champions League final in Ibadan. Don't be left out. This event is absolutely free.
Stay tuned to 32 FM 94.9.
All right, you're welcome back. And of course, you're still on to Break It Down Papers Review here on 32 FM 94.9. And it's right about time to open the phone lines and also take your comments on our socials. We're live on Facebook and also on YouTube. 32 FM 949 Ibadan on both socials. And of course, the numbers are 070-55000-949 or 080-97000-949. And for international audience, plus 234-90-62,949.
All right. Of course, we're live on Facebook, like we just said. It is 32FM 949 Ibadan. We have some Facebook reactions that we'll be taking in a bit. Raja Hafiz Abidemi says, good morning, DENIKE&GBOLABO, an analyst in the studio. Still on the issue of subsidy saga, NNPC have removed subsidy from diesel, kerosene and gas. I don't think federal government is sincere with money realized from it. How can we trust them with this petroleum subsidy? President Bola Ahmed Tinubu should please use this money realized from petroleum subsidy judiciously. God bless Nigeria. Hello? Hello, good morning.
Good morning, this is another occasion from Ibadan.
All right, please make your point.
Hello? In view of the current situation we are facing, one of the ways out is this: if government is able to import electric cars for us, especially buses for the masses, are we getting it? There will be crash in the prices of the petroleum products, especially the petrol. Because once you are able to have electric vehicles that people are even making use of, before you know it, the marketers will be forced to beat down their prices themselves. May God help us.
All right, thank you very much. Prof, do you want to react to that? Electric cars and buses.
Well, that needs a lot of investment. We've got some electric buses already. Lagos has brought in quite a number, but it requires a lot of investment. Even in Britain, only about 10% or so of the cars have gone electric, even a bit less than that. But at least they have a target. So I think we need to begin to explore it. They will be more expensive for us initially, and the government will have to back it in some way, but that's going to take a while. And if you have all those electric cars, remember that our economy is still based on crude oil. That means we will be impoverished because we won't have a lot of money coming into us. So our economy has to be rejigged first before we begin to talk about electric cars, or else we're going to be impoverished. We will have no income coming to Nigeria because about 80% or 85% of our revenue comes from oil.
Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning to you.
Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. Yeah, I'm a passionate. My question regarding to first subsidy. My question is, who are the people benefit from this first subsidy? Are they rich people or poor people? Excuse me, you can't continue like this. You can't continue spending huge amount of money on first subsidy. It doesn't bring any good thing for Nigeria. That is the truth of the matter. Subsidy is gone. Let's forget about it. We don't gather our lead outside. Thank you.
All right. Thank you very much.
All right, we'll go back to Facebook and also take more comments here. And this is from Balkis. Onodiran says, let us use the same energy to convince the government that it needs to lower the cost of governance as we are defending the elimination of PMS subsidies. What steps have been taken to lessen the suffering that the elimination of PMS subsidies will cause for the poor masses? And that's a question mark. The poor masses have yet to benefit from the removal of kerosene subsidies.
Okay, we have a call. Hello, good morning.
DENIKE, good morning.
Good morning.
Bravo, morning.
Good morning, okay.
Okay. Yes, like somebody said there, I actually believe we should all support these subsidies in our people because we keep coming every time talking about it, yet we know it's actually been causing waste for this government. But now, the president should please look for ways to ameliorate the suffering. And I will also talk to NLC. I think the strike is needless. I don't know, but that's how I see it. We should just allow this so that these pocket portfolio businessmen that are looting this will not be allowed to continue this kind of thing. Good morning. It's okay.
All right, thank you very much. Prof, do you have any reactions through any of the stories? The insinuation that NLC might just be a tool for people that actually want the looting to continue.
Well, I think NLC is confused. I don't think they're a tool for anybody. They're confused. They're not that organized. And of course, some people sometimes argue that they are plants of politicians. But I don't think they're that intelligent to become a tool for anybody in terms of their outrances from that point of view. They need to be more strategic. It's quite obvious. But one of the things I wanted to clarify, I said that...
Please, Prof, hold that thought. Hello, good morning. All right, please continue.
I wanted to clarify that if we go the route of electric cars, even though it will benefit us, that ultimately other countries will also go that route. And if other countries go that route, it means less dependence on crude oil and PMS, which means we need to begin to sort out our economy so that we are less reliant on the exportation of petroleum. Then we'll be in a better position if we have electric cars or whatever, gas-powered cars or whatever we call it.
All right, we still have some reactions on Facebook that will be taken.
All right, let's take this from Okediran Babatunde says, hopefully the service chiefs will realize that we have now new government in place that is ready to do things differently. Let them step up and do the needful in combating crimes, just as the Oyo State command is performing against the ex-convict and political thugs in the state. It should be total, but not selective.
Hello, good morning.
Hello.
Good morning. Hello.
All right, we take another comment here. Omo Basharan Abiola. All right, do we have a caller? Hello, good morning. Okay, Omo Basharan Abiola says, regarding to NLC strike or no strike, honesty, I personally pass vote of no confidence in NLC simply because they are not putting national interest in their mind ahead of their parochial interest. What should be the aim and objective of NLC is how can we find a lasting solution to these economy problems.
Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
This is John Olariwaju from Majo. Normally,
okay, I think we lost that call, and that's the much that we can take regarding calls. Let's just take one comment or two right here. This one from Okediran Babatunde says, hopefully the FCC have enough evidence against Fayemi. At the end of the day, if no evidence is presented, it will just be efforts in futility.
All right, let's see if we could take one more message here on Facebook. And of course, let's take this. Okay, I guess we have that. And Okediran Babatunde is still saying strike, strike, strike. NLC tries that government will activate no work, no pay. Remember, the judgment against ASU is now a reference case in the judicial cycle. No workers should go on strike again, even if it laid down procedures are followed.
All right, Prof, any final words? It's time to leave the studio.
Well, I'm just hoping. I know that a lot of us are enjoying the luxury of smooth transport, less cars on the road. But I just pray that the government will intervene soon, because I'm looking at lower productivity and I'm looking at the consequences that this has. And I hope that the competition will become so intense that the price goes further downwards.
All right. Thank you so much, Professor Oluwajedoku, for doing this with us this morning. I am at DENIKE&GBOLABO.
And I'm Gbolabo, famous school. Bye for now.